Hello everyone. This is a live workshop with Henry Lee and 5 students from various states and foreign countries. We have made some nice paintings during the last 4 days. Today is the last day of the 5-day workshop. We're going to mount the nice paintings we've done. And here we're doing this with a new dry mounting technique. The dry mounting with silicone paper. We use, here's the sandwich. We have the original painting. This one I did in a plein air session during the workshop by the swimming pool of the hotel where we had the workshop. There's a Birds of Paradise with a hummingbird I did. It says Birds of Paradise. It's collected by India. Thank you, India. And I use a film prepared in the same size of this original painting. And we're going to put
What's that called?
This paper?
Yeah, the film.
The film is called silicone release paper or silicone dry mounting paper. Yeah. It has a release paper on the back, silicone film on the front. So the silicone film facing the back of the painting, and this paper is another piece of rice paper or mulberry paper. We're going to use as a backing paper. So the silicone adhesive replaces the paste. It's a heat-sensitive adhesive. So we're going to mount the painting on silicone paper first. If you have a hard backing paper, I would recommend you put the silicone film on the back of the mounting paper first. So you do something like that. You can put the film on and then put the painting on top of the backing. That works best with watercolor paper backing. I have great success rate with that approach. Many people tried that, it worked very good. If we try to mimic the traditional mounting, we use the soft backing, we would do the painting first. Okay, the process, the mounting process starts by wet the painting, not wet, dampen the original painting. If the painting has wrinkles or creases, you want to relax it with the moisture, just like you iron a shirt. That amount of moisture you need. You don't put too much, but a little bit, especially because the LA weather, it's very dry. You want to have some steam effect when you iron it. It helps relax. Just like a little bit mist. I put a piece of newspaper to prevent the moisture from my padding. The padding is 4 layers of denim. You can use cotton sheeting or just bedding material, something cotton. Not use a very heavy felt like you used for painting. It's too soft. You just need this much padding, okay? And put the painting, the partially dampened painting with silicone film. Align it. The silicone film has a little extra margin. I already cut it off. If not, you need to align. Okay, thank you.
This at the top, even at the
Yeah.
top.
Here I use a protecting paper from previous work, the release paper from the back of the silicone as a dust protecting paper. You can see some dust on the iron. So the iron is set to 180 Fahrenheit. It's approximately between silk and the wool. it's the same kind of stroke you will do with a brush in wet mounting. So if you stroke away from the center in all 8 directions, you can then do the circular movement or back and forth. That's like any craft, everybody will develop their best approach. You can do the circular movement like that. But make sure all the sides and the corner are ironed, not just the center. Like that. And you can see if there's anything different you don't want to. You can check that. If there's a wrinkle, what you do is you spray some more moisture as a remedy. I see a little wrinkle there. Okay. This is how I do it. I spray some moisture in the wrinkled area. And just iron it again. I don't want to have water on my padding, because when the back of the silicone paper gets wet, it creates another kind of wrinkle that has creating problems when you deal with water. So that's very important tip. If you spray enough water in the beginning, the wrinkle is less, but don't spread too much, because that will make you iron a lot longer and may create another kind of crinkles. Like if the moisture get to the back of the silicone paper, it will be causing most of the problems.
Excuse me, actually the first strokes should be very important. Center out, you do the cross, and the things like this stroke, like English flags. The purpose is to get air out.
Yeah.
You want to get the bubble out. Since you got the wrinkle, if you got the wrinkle and then you try to press it, no use.
Too late.
Right, you cannot get it.
When there's wrinkle right there.
You can press more and to flatten it.
Okay.
So first the strokes, you cannot do this center out to get the bubble out, get air out. Do this more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has their own fixes. This is a different approach sometimes. You have to develop your own.
The purpose is to get air out. If you got the
Okay,
wrinkle
I'll show
already, you
them.
cannot press it. No use.
Not just pressing, I'm using water.
No use. One time, 2 days ago, I got a phone call. The customer said, when she sprayed water, because it's different, film won't take water, not absorbent at all, but the paper shrink and stretch by water or more or less. So if you put together already, cannot spray water anymore. No use.
Okay, let's see. Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's find out. Yeah, I'll show you what the best way to do. there's two steps you can consider. In the beginning, you want to use lower temperature and concentrate on flatten the paper, the painting to the backing. Then you increase temperature to seal it. That will help a little bit. So you don't create wrinkles, permanent wrinkles. Yeah.
So have you increased the temperature now?
I had this pretty high in the beginning, so that's the problem. That worked, right?
Oh, nice.
So my remedy working for me, but maybe not for the customers, because the problem is the wrinkle could be caused on the back. Then I have no idea what to do. As long as the wrinkle is on the painting on the front, that's why I find the solution, because the wrinkle could be on the back of the paper, then it's harder to get rid of. So make sure the padding always dry. Don't spray anything on the table, on the tablecloth. Spray it somewhere else with a different area, then come back. Yeah, so that's the main problem, because I used to do the spray right here, and then my cloth gets wet, then you see this is moisture. You see this is right here? When you have this is more difficult to deal with. So what you do is that you iron on the front, on the back, but you see that's the problem.
There's a little bubble.
Yeah, I don't worry about this, because as long as the film is flat on the paper, I don't worry about the backing. This bubble is not permanent. I mean, this paper is not permanent. This is how I do it. After it cool down a little bit, you peel it off, and then do the second iron. Okay. Now I peel it off. Just peel it. So there's no bubble in between the painting and the film. Right? It's perfect, right? Okay. So you have to understand the nature of the material. That release paper could be released, so don't worry about, unless there's a wrinkle on the painting, so you can spray it and you get it. Yeah. So this is the second iron. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to do the second, the transfer on painting onto the final backing paper. And now you can see if it matches your wet mounting standard, the traditional. Okay. This time, no moisture, no needed. Just straight iron from center out.
Same temperature?
Yes, same temperature. From center out. You don't have to press hard, but even, just keep because the shape of the iron is not square, so you want to go beyond the paper. Otherwise, the margin would be missed. The corner would be missed. Yeah, just do beyond the painting. It's like you brush the painting with the brush earlier with wet mounting. You do all the way out. Just use the temperature. If it's not hot enough, it's not going to bind it. So you want to combine different speed and temperature. You need to find out your own home iron, and the best way you're working habit, you can go slow, but keep moving. Do not stop. You cannot do stop. You have to keep moving. You can go slower. Let's see if I think think the margin is not set.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Put your finger out of the way.
Yeah, hand off. Yeah, you can,
I'm
you
just
can,
gonna
you can,
move
you
it.
can just easy.
I trusted Henry to get.
Okay, just go easy. Use the temperature to do the work. I think the problem is the film is a little smaller, but there's no film on this margin. But it's okay, you can just,
It'll go into the mat.
yeah, going under the mat, so not create any problems. The film has an extra margin, it's ½ inch from the margin, that's why we missed a little bit on that side. So basically it's done. There's some a little bit in the center. If you have a larger backing, what happens is the glue will stick on the protecting paper. So you need to clean this extra glue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd rather have it a little smaller. If you have the painting. I think also alignment. You have enough on this side. That's good. That side is fine. We don't have any. So it's basically done. And I normally don't iron on the back. I don't worry too much on the back. You can press hard to make the two layers to be more like a firm. After you have done the wrinkle, don't worry about wrinkle, just press a little harder. I'll give myself a 90%. It's not perfect, but it's okay, right? Yeah. I'm going to show you a different approach. So you can make the painting flat first with a wet mounting brush like that. So I press the painting, and you can also use a cooler iron. I think it turned off by itself. So some iron has the auto shut off at a certain temperature is set. That cools down. So you need to plug back in and off and on again to restart heating. So right now it's auto shut. So that's a cool iron. I can use this. It's warm but not very hot. To do a preliminary ironing, it will make the two-piece start to stick together, but not firmly yet. Then I will increase the temperature. Let me check the condition right now. Looks okay, but not sticking together yet. So you want to increase the temperature. Or plug in, and it start to increase the temperature. Okay, pass me a piece of paper towel. When you have a larger backing paper, the iron touch the glue, it stick on the iron. I can feel that. So you need to clean use a paper towel to clean the glue. So it's better to have a larger protecting paper. So it covers up the area. This one I give it 99. Okay.
Is it done?
Yeah, almost. There's a little one.
And then, does it need to go on the back? Is there another paper that needs to go on the back?
No, not necessarily until you decide to go on the frame. You can do the ironing on the backing board, or you can just leave it. I have some penny I just framed with the release paper on.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's a nice paper, you know. There's a little wrinkle. If I spray, I can get that off. Do you want me to?
Yeah, if we could.
Okay, sure. There's a little wrinkle here. We can try to get rid of that with some water as a remedy. You remember to cover the cotton with newspaper and just spray and iron this part.
Iron away from the fold.
Yes. Try to the fold goes this way.
Yeah, but no. The fold goes either this way or this way.
Oh,
The fold,
it's very fine, hard to tell.
I think, well, half of it goes this way and half of it goes this
Yeah.
way.
Anyway, I'll go. I pull on both sides. Just do that. It will take care of that. Yeah, it pulls off very nicely. It's like magic. You never know.
Well, it's like your bed. The wrinkles in your bed.
Yeah.
You have to pull against,
Against the right,
you know.
the fault, against it. If the wrinkle is horizontal, you do it vertically. That's all I do. No wrinkles anymore. Look at, no wrinkles.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
if you got a wrinkle like this.
If we videotape again, we're gonna send you and Victoria for a walk.
If you got a wrinkle like
Yes.
this, you iron it that way.
Exactly. Yes, that's the point. If the wrinkle is this, you iron against the direction
Yeah.
to open it. Yeah. But sometimes it's just like a wrinkle like this, so you pull it off. Yeah.
You're not supposed to have a double wrinkle like that.
Double wrinkle. Yeah. Okay. You can. Yeah.
Who's the
Perfect.
teacher here? Who paid who? You paid him.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I
He
think.
doesn't burst into tears.
Well, maybe he's about to.